Hello everyone and welcome to my Hip Hop Gossip For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. R.Kelly's pregnant little girl says youngster won't ever meet detained granddad. R.Kelly promises to safeguard her child from the discolored tradition of R.Kelly, underscoring trustworthiness and mending. R.Kelly has swore to protect her unborn kid from her dad R.Kelly's upset inheritance, expressing she won't take her child to visit his granddad in a correctional facility. In her forthcoming narrative, R.Kelly's Karma, a little girl's excursion, Kelly pondered both her previous relationship with her dad and their ongoing alienation following his 2021 conviction on racketeering and sex-dealing charges. On the off chance that my child clarifies pressing issues, I will be pretty much as honest as could be expected. What's more, I won't be bringing my child to jail to meet his granddad, she solidly expressed. The previous music head honcho's transgress presents a complicated family predicament as Joanne, once depicting R.Kelly as my beginning and end, presently wrestles with the dreary truth of his activities. For quite a long time, Joanne attempted to acknowledge the allegations against her dad, R.Kelly, who is as of now carrying out a 30-year punishment at Chicago's Metropolitan Restorative Place. For quite a while, I would even not like to accept that it worked out, she uncovered, considering the pain of being the girl of a man viewed as at fault for hurting ladies and minors. Closed by his current sentence, the R&B craftsman was managed an extra 20-year sentence in 2023 for youngster sex offenses, including making kid erotic entertainment and endeavoring to draw a minor for sexual demonstrations. In any case, 19 of those years will run simultaneously with his past sentence. Joanne's kin, R.Kelly and Robert Kelly Jr. show up in the narrative and grapple with their dad's discolored standing. R.Kelly's little girl separates over destroying claims in new doc trailer. R.Kelly is presently in the slammer for supposed racketeering, dealing, sexual maltreatment of minors, and that's just the beginning. Presently, it looks like the shamed R&B star could be confronting much additional upsetting claims. In a trailer for an impending doc, solely shared by the Jasmine brand recently, a few of his relatives examine his supposed wrongdoings and what they've meant for them. His ex R.Kelly, for instance, becomes mournful about how he's purportedly treated their kids. She questions why he needed to purportedly hurt their little ones after as of now supposedly hurting her. His girl Joanne likewise becomes amazingly close to home about what he supposedly put her and the remainder of their family through. They don't determine precisely exact thing they're blaming him for in the trailer. The narrative, which was chief delivered by Man Robinson, is planned to emerge on October 11th. He knows precisely why we can't have the relationship that we would have loved with him, Joanne makes sense of in the trailer. He was my beginning and end, she go on at an alternate point in the trailer. For quite a while, I would even not like to accept that it worked out. I didn't have the foggiest idea about that regardless of whether he was a terrible individual that he would do something to me. I truly feel like that 1 millisecond totally changed for what seems like forever. She proceeds to make sense of how she anticipates being pretty much as legit as conceivable with her child about his granddad. Regardless of this, she says she won't be taking her child to visit him in jail. What is your take of this new narrative trailer? Will you be tuning in when it emerges on October 11th or not? R.Kelly's little girl stands up in forthcoming narrative, I won't take my child to a jail to meet his granddad. R.Kelly's girl is taking a stand in opposition to her dad. In a trailer for the impending narrative R.Kelly's Karma Girl's Excursion, Joanne Kelly shares how the convictions of her dad on different sex violations changed for what seems like forever as she focuses on their wrecked relationship. No one needs to be the offspring of the dad that is over here harming ladies and youngsters, says Joanne, 26, in the trailer, delivered on Sunday, September 29th. He knows precisely why we can't have the relationship that we would have jumped at the chance to have with him. Kelly's girl, who has all the earmarks of being pregnant in the clasp, gets close to home later on in the trailer as she ponders how she used to see her dad. He was my beginning and end, she says of Kelly, 57, crying. For quite a while, I would even not like to accept that it worked out. I didn't have a clue about that, regardless of whether he was a terrible individual, that he would do something to me. I truly feel like that 1 millisecond totally changed for what seems like forever, she expresses, alluding to Kelly's conviction, adding of her future kid, assuming that my child seeks clarification on pressing issues, I will be pretty much as honest as could be expected. What's more, I won't be bringing my child to jail to meet his granddad. Kelly's ex and mom of Joanne and her kin, R.Kelly, likewise shows up in the trailer in a sorrowful clasp. Since you're not a decent spouse, doesn't mean you can't be a decent dad. What's more, the way that he didn't attempt, Dre, 50, says of Kelly. How he treated me, he did to me. Yet, you didn't need to do it to my damn children. Joanne's kin, R.Kelly and Robert Kelly Jr., likewise stand up in the narrative in crude, close-to-home meetings, while the film reveals the dull truth of residing in the shadow of perhaps of the most famous figure in music, as per a summary. In February 2023, the shamed R&B vocalist/lyricist and sentenced sex wrongdoer got a 20-year jail sentence on charges of youngster porn and temptation of minors for sex, as per different reports at that point. Kelly was given the sentence as he was at that point serving 30 years in jail for his 2021 conviction on racketeering and sex-stealing charges based out of New York, per various reports, meaning he will spend a sum of 31 years in a correctional facility. The vocalist and father of 3 was cleared of kid porn charges in 2008 after claims had encircled him for a really long time, individuals recently detailed. After Kelly's capture in 2019, examiners said in a prosecution gave that he and his group comprised of his chiefs, guardians, and associates went all through the U.S. and abroad to perform at show scenes, furthermore, to select ladies and young ladies to participate in unlawful sexual action with Kelly, as far back as 1999. R.Kelly's little girl won't take her child to meet his granddad in jail. He's a terrible individual. R.Kelly's girl Joanne Kelly, who shows up in the impending narrative, R.Kelly's Karma, A Girl's Excursion, uncovered she cares very little about acquainting her future child with his granddad. On the off chance that my child seeks clarification on pressing issues, I will be all around as honest as could really be expected. Also, I won't be bringing my child to jail to meet his granddad, Joanne, who seems, by all accounts, to be pregnancy in the clasp, said in the narrative trailer delivered on Sunday. Concerning her own relationship with her father, the hopeful mother thought back on her young life with the popular parent, 57, and conceded he was my beginning and end. However, shared there at this point not close after he was sentenced in New York on racketeering and sex dealing with charges September 2021. R.Kelly's little girl Joanne, presented above, conceded she will not be talking her future child to the jail to meet his granddad, in the trailer for the impending narrative, R.Kelly's Karma, A Girl's Excursion. For quite a while, I would even not like to accept that it worked out. I didn't have the foggiest idea about that, regardless of whether he was a terrible individual, that he would do something to me, she said of the I'm a Tease vocalist, who is carrying out a 30-year punishment in Chicago's Metropolitan Restorative Community. No one needs to be the offspring of the dad that is around here harming ladies and youngsters. He knows precisely why we can't have the relationship that we would have jumped at the chance to have with him.